Which are the other sectors within which, in the current market, like you said, it keeps changing the preference, but where we're at right now, that you're finding the maximum favor, the top three spaces?
So private sector bank is one space. Uh, Consensus is against IT services. So as we speak, one of the companies is seeing a sell off today, and overall the IT space is down. Near term, of course, there is this uh, pushback of order flow. People are still trying to figure out how much can we negotiate the rates down given the increased productivity around AI, etc. There will be still requirement for people to implement. If one takes a very pessimistic view, then not just IT services, there will not be something like a big four as well. Maybe people will just one chartered accountant will upload all the company data on a AI tool and say, just
Yeah.
audit this for me and tell me what are the red flags and prepare the audit report for me. Or the entire litigation will be done by two AI models against each other. So I'm not in that extreme camp. So
Okay.
IT services is the other
IT
space
services.
where
Mm.
we are uh,
Hmm.
looking for opportunities. Auto has seen a rebound given the GST cuts, given the whole shift towards new powertrains, newer model refreshes. So there is, and under penetration is a constant story in India where there's a long runway. So these three spaces are looking reasonably okay.
Okay, private banks, IT services, and also looking at auto. What about your outlook on energy transition as a theme? How would you advise people to play that, given the kind of volatility as well that we've seen here?
So the theme is very real. Uh, we will, if we are to get richer, if we are to improve our standards of living for the population as a whole, we will require more energy, and we will need to shift away from the fossil fuels. So these are the two large trends that are there. Uh, Increased computing requires increased power usage. So whether it's normal data centers or AI driven compute that is there, as transportation moves away from petrol, diesel towards electric vehicles, that requires additional electricity. So plenty of opportunities. Now one could invest in solar companies, one could invest in wind companies, one could invest in power generating companies, and not just equipment providers, transmission lines, transformers, energy exchange. There are various opportunities. The challenge is to limit yourself to companies with pricing power and decent balance sheet. So what has happened is, if in the past is, if some sector becomes too competitive, the margins compress, and the if someone is excessively leveraged in that space, then there could be solvency issues.
Are you just sort of hitting your head when it comes to any sector saying, I really missed the bus, I really regret not getting it? Now valuations have soared crazily, or now it's not at the right price in the current market environment, honestly?
So there are always misses.
But right now, what's the biggest miss?
I think so. In the defense space, for example, some of the, not every company again,
Yeah, yeah, but
some
by and
of
large.
the tier one PSU businesses which have a diversified base in terms of order flow, etc., and not dependent on a particular uh, technology or a particular business line. So those were very cheap about 5 years back.
And you missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a bit of a regret right now. So, what are you telling people, those
So
who have missed the
that time,
bus?
at that time, there would be something else we would be buying. So
Fair. Okay. So,
yeah, I
no,
think it's part of the game. I don't
yeah.
worry too much about
Okay.
things that happened
I
did
think
not
it's
happen.
this calm demeanor that you have and that you need to have when you're dealing with this, and we were chatting about this off cam that emotions as well play a big role, your EQ, when it comes to investing. And there are so many moving parts today, and there are a lot of investors who are serious about their SIP investment, but then a lot that are getting their fingers burnt and going about this trading. What's the message that you want to give them?
There's no moral argument against trading. It is not that I'm preaching that it's uh, bad or something like that. All I'm saying is if 10 people are trading, the aggregate wins and losses will be zero before costs. So instead of trading, think about it as a playing card game. If 10 people are on a table gambling, when you add all the wins and losses, it's zero. In trading, after zero, there are STT costs to be paid, there's brokerage to be paid, and people who win have to pay taxes. The people who lose money don't get any check from the finance ministry. So net net is it's a negative sum game. Aggregate, people will lose money. If instead of playing a card game, if 10 people came together and started a business, and if that business did well, all 10 of them can win. So investing is a game where over a period of time everybody wins. If Sensex uh, goes from 100 to 80,000, everyone who's bought into corporate India has won
Yeah.
along the way.
Okay, but trading is a zero sum game. You're being quite categorical about that.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.